My first job, I don't know if I told you this. I was living in Connecticut, and I was in yeshiva there. I was 20 years old. I'd already spent 3 years in yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael, and I came back. I was in yeshiva in Connecticut, and the yeshiva that I was there actually is not even there anymore. But and I was trying to figure out what to do. I thought I'd go into education. I was teaching in a public school, and then the local Jewish school heard that there was a yeshiva guy teaching in a local public school. So they said, "Come to us. We'll hire you. We'll pay you. You can be a Rebbe." And I was like, "Be a Rebbe?" I'm like, "I went to graduate school. I know how to teach math and science. I don't know how to be a Rebbe." I'm like, and they said, "Don't worry, we'll teach you." And like, so I get there, and they started teaching me how to teach, Chumash, Rashi, whatever. And then shortly after, I met my wife shortly after, and it was like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm a Rebbe." And the odd thing was, like, I had been doing it for like 3 days, and like, they're calling me Rebbe, and I was, when they were like, "Oh, Rabbi Sytner," I'm like, "Who are they talking to? Who are these kids talking to?" Like, yesterday I was Mr. S, in the public school. Now I'm Rabbi Sytner today, and they're like, "Rabbi Sytner." I was like, anyway, it's like, "Oh, nice to meet you. What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a rabbi." Rabbi. Anyway, okay, but I remember that first time I started teaching there, I was teaching about Cain and Hevel. And these kids, a lot of them, it was an out-of-town Hebrew day school. The school's not even around anymore. Shows how desperate they were for teachers, by the way. But the school's not even around anymore. But I was teaching about Cain and Hevel. I was trying to teach them about jealousy. So, after teaching about Cain and Hevel, I taught them that, in life we have to be happy with what we have, and we have to not look at what other people have. And that's an important lesson in life. This is what I told them. Wow. So I told them, I said, important lesson in life, you have to be happy with what you have. You have to not look at what other people have. Special guest. Okay. So what did I do? I wanted to make it experiential. So I brought in a box of, do you know those colorful cupcakes? Not colorful. Some have colorful sprinkles, some have black sprinkles. You know what I'm talking about? The mini ones? The mini cupcakes. So I brought in, I think, of mini cupcakes. And I told all the kids that everyone's going to get something. Now, as soon as they saw it, some of the kids said, "Oh, blacks, I want the one with the chocolate sprinkles." And some kids saw the colorful, said, "Oh, I want the rainbow sprinkles." And each one saw a different thing, wanted something else. I noticed specifically which kids wanted the colorful ones, which ones wanted the chocolate ones. In my own fun little way, I gave them all the ones they didn't want. Not only that, but I brought a knife. Some kids got a quarter of a cupcake. Some kids got a piece of a cupcake. Some kids got a whole cupcake. And I told all the kids, remember, each one is to look at what they have and don't cover it up. And you shouldn't look to see what someone else got. But they realized what was happening. Like some kids were getting one kid's like, "I love the color rainbows." And he sees this little piece of chocolate thing go on his, and I was having a blast. And I realized, you're like, a sick person you are. But I realized, but the kids, they got it. They really got the message. They saw what they were getting. They each one covered. Each one didn't look. And I was giving them the real life lesson. You're not going to all have the same. Now, in the end, by the way, just to my credit, in the end, they gave everybody a full cupcake. Okay, everybody got to choose a cupcake. So I'm not so mean. But the lesson was a true lesson, which was life is not fair from the perspective of everyone's going to get the same. That's not real. We look around, and in life, in real life, some people have more, some people have less.